I am finding that lots of folks are taking advantage of this after the fact.
Great.
So, welcome to Heartland AEA's Instructional Tech Team's office hours. Today, I'm going to focus on tips for communication during remote learning. We don't know what's going to happen in the fall. This may be more of the same. So, I've kind of compiled some things here. Let me start by introducing myself. I am Deb Vale, and I'm an instructional tech consultant with Heartland. And what I thought I would do is start with kind of the pedagogy, and I'm not going to tell you anything you don't already know, other than just a reminder that these are difficult times for teachers and parents and students, and I think we've got to remember to empathize and connect. I think we're so focused on getting that content out there, but I almost think the social and emotional are more important even than our content. And Maslow has taught us that in order to learn, we've got to feel safe and stable, and kids really need that. So communicating positivity and compassion is so important. One of the resources that I'm going to share would be great for an icebreaker beginning of this next school year, kind of a non-threatening, easy way to build a little climate and culture. And the second kind of tip in terms of those pedagogy items is that all of the content I'm reading about remote learning says you've got to set some office hours or some way that parents can get a hold of you. And a lot of districts have a policy for this, so you might want to start by looking to see what your district's policy is. And all of the reading I've done said it needs to be an average of an hour a day, which is a lot. One of the recommendations was maybe you team up as a third grade team or a first grade team. You provide an hour a day, but it's not the same teacher doing it each time. So just kind of some guidelines. When we talk about communicating with students and families, we kind of have to look at two different possibilities when we're doing a lot of this online. Is synchronous, so everybody's meeting at the same time online. And the tool I'm going to share is called Arranger, and it lets you set up office hours, essentially, where folks can just grab an appointment slot and you connect. And then the asynchronous tool that I want to share is Padlet. And essentially, you as the teacher put out a Padlet, and kids can respond and connect on their time schedule. Now, one other asynchronous tool is Flipgrid. And if you're not familiar with it, last week I did a webinar on Flipgrid and how it can be used for communication. So here is a shortened link to that video. At the very end, I'll also have that link on a resource I'm going to share with you. But one more chance to kind of check with tools for communication. Okay, we're going to start with Padlet. Katie, are you familiar with Padlet? Have you used it?
Yes,
Okay.
I have.
Yep, pretty familiar?
Yep.
Yep. Then we will go through this quite quickly. Essentially, as you know, it's a virtual bulletin board, and you can add any kind of content that you want: images, text, video, audio, all kinds of things. And I did a quick screenshot of one that I created just so that people would have a model for that. Really easy to use, nothing high stakes, super easy. So it might be that great icebreaker for an asynchronous check-in. And I created a quick 3-minute video on getting started in Padlet. One of the things that I did not include in the video, you can turn on moderation so that students' comment or students' posts won't show up until you approve them. But if you turn on comments, those slip right through that moderation. There is no way to moderate comments, so keep that in mind. I'm going to go ahead and play this quick video.
I thought I'd walk you through the process of creating a Padlet. First of all, sign up, it's free. The free version only
Can you hear that okay, Katie?
Padlets. So once you hit that 3 and want to make a 4th, you would have to delete one to add a new one. I'm going to go ahead and log in since I have a Padlet account. And I'm going to go ahead and click on the plus up here, make a Padlet. And I get to choose the layout that I would like. You've got lots of options here. I'm going to select that first one. And it will drop in a random background, which you can change as desired. I'm going to start by giving it a title. Let's call it Mrs. Vale's Classroom Check-In. And the title and the description show up here. Now, this is the link I'm going to share with students right here. I'm going to go ahead and change it because I can customize it. Makes it a little bit easier for kids to remember. Let's do check-in time. All right, here's where I would select a wallpaper. I can make it look like bulletin board if I want, whatever choice I'd like, okay? I also get to make some other choices here, and one that I would encourage you to do is require approval. I'm going to turn that on. That way, kids go ahead and post, but they won't show up on the Padlet until I approve them. And as soon as I approve them, then they show up for everyone to see. So I would recommend that you do that, all right? Now, let's go to next. Start posting. All right. So to post, you can either click this plus down here or double click on the Padlet itself. I'm going to put my name in here, and then I could upload a file, share a link. I can do a Google search. I could snap a photo. I'm not going to do that here because right now I'm using my webcam for the image down here. But I could do a Google search. I can snap a photo from the camera. I can record my voice. I can record video. I have lots and lots of options that I can use. Okay. Let's see. I might go ahead and add an image. Let's do this image, okay? Again, in a nutshell, that's what you do to set up an account and get started. Now, here's the share. So I can copy the link to the clipboard, all right? And I can paste it wherever I need it to be. If you've got a website, if you want to email it to folks, I have lots of options here, okay? In a nutshell, that's Padlet.
So those comments, I really like the idea of the comments. So it's a little more collaborative and kind of build that shared understand or sense of community there. But you do have to know your kids to turn that on and let it go. Katie, I apologize for looking off to the side. I have you on this screen, so I am looking at you, truly. How do you use it in your classroom?
I haven't used it in my classroom with my first graders. I've used it quite a bit in my grad classes.
Right.
So I've used it more on the student side,
Yep.
but I have created some.
Yep. I do think it's something that your age kids could handle, don't you? Yep. All right. Any questions, thoughts, anything else to add to that before we go on? Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so that was the asynchronous. You set it up and people can go whenever they want to respond. This next tool that I'm going to share is called Arranger, and it allows you to set up virtual office hours. Once you get it set up, you don't have to do anything. All the notifications come to you. It's pretty slick. Okay, as I looked at setting up office hour appointments, I thought, oh, I'm just going to go straight to Google. I'm really knowledgeable about it. I did not like Google's office hours. It just did not do what I wanted it to do. So I began looking at different tools for this. Had to be free, wanted it to be easy to set up and learn. I wanted to be able to choose the length of the appointments. A lot of them are only preset to choose either 30 minutes or an hour. I wanted 15-minute increments. I also wanted it to to integrate seamlessly with my calendar. And it will in fact work automatically with Apple, Google, or with Office as well. So you don't have to add these appointments to your calendar. Arranger does that for you. Another thing I really wanted, especially for wanting to build bridges with kids as well as with their families, I think we've got to give them choice. Rather than me just saying, no, by golly, we're doing this by Zoom, they can choose a phone meeting, Zoom, Google Meet. There are all kinds of options that the parents have to connect with you, which I really liked. Okay, so what does it look like when the parents go to schedule it? I thought that would be important to start there. Essentially, it's a 3-step process. This is what it looks like on mine, and this is the when. Click a time down below. That's all they have to do for this step. 2, where and how. So this is the list of choices here, and they just select it, and then it goes over here, and then they go on to the next step. So pretty smooth so far. And then on step, it should say 3, you're going to review and book. And I didn't do the entire screenshot. They can leave you a message, but down below that, they provide contact information. And up in my guidance up here, I asked them to tell me what it is they want to talk about so that I can be prepared. So you know who is looking for this office hour appointment, as well as what the topic will be. Okay, so how does the teacher go about setting up Arranger? Basically, you're going to go to this website right here to set up an account. And these are the 5 steps for setting up that account. You set your time zone, super easy. Set your Arranger link and keep it general. I just put in Mrs. Vale. Sync it to your calendar. This is where you tell it which calendar you have. And I have about 7 or 8 different calendars that I can toggle on and off. And I could choose from all of the calendars that I've created. So really does a nice job there. Profile picture, this is about staying connected. So it'll walk you through that process. It's pretty slick. Okay, so you've done those 5 steps. It will take you to this navigation pane, okay? And I would go to the profile and settings, and this is where you can kind of customize it and put a little more detail in there if you would like. Obviously name, if you want to do a profile picture, which really is nice. It helps people to feel like, oh yeah, I recognize that face. I know who this is. Also contact information, phone and email. I really like this. They have, you can just click the copy to clipboard. You can drop this in your email signature. So you, anytime you email parents or anyone else, they will get this link or get this automated message at the bottom in your signature. Okay, so this is still in the profile. And this is again where you want to adjust what calendar it's going to and how it's going to show up. This is really nice for notifications. It provides notifications for you as well as the person that signed up, which is really slick. And you can decide just how close to the time or far away it is anyway. So you can customize that as well. Okay, so basically we set up an account and set up some basic profile information. Now we're going to go on to creating appointment slots. And essentially what you do is you create a scheduling page, okay? So all you do is add another page. This is that default page that we just created with our profile. So I wanted to do one that was specifically for office hours. So choose that and next. Then how do you want people to be able to access this page? I found the direct link super quick and easy to do. And how do you want to limit this? Do you want all three options? Do you just want video calls? So you get to choose what options will show up. Okay, and then you go in and tell Arranger what your favorites are. And those will show up with a star next to them to let whoever knows, whoever is scheduling know what your favorites are, but they can step outside of that and choose. Let's say you want Zoom, they still can go with Hangouts, but Arranger does all of the contact information and the links and everything. It's slick. Okay, and I wanted mine to be set to 15 minutes. You can set it up so that parents could choose the 15 or request a longer time. Also, I wanted to have them pick it from available slots. So I chose the second option. And then you have two options, whether or not you want them to instantly book, or do you want to step in and confirm it first. Okay, so now we're to the point where we're choosing the days of the week and the times. Essentially on this calendar, I clicked at 12 o'clock and drug it to 2 on a Monday. And when I clicked on that blue area, I had the option, I got this window and I could copy it to other days. So again, super quick and easy. Then the next message, so it showed up on the calendar here, okay? And the next option I have is my intro message. What kind of guidance do you want to give them? And I said, make sure you put information into the message so I know what the topic is. And then you're done. That's all there is to it. And it really does walk you through the pieces. Okay, so now we go back, and instead of profile and settings, we go to scheduling pages, copy the link. You can copy it into your email, put it on your classroom website, Google Classroom, whatever you want, however you want to share that link. Now, this is my Google Calendar, and I choose what color these show up. And I, in fact, created a separate calendar that was just for these items. My calendars get kind of clogged. But anyway, when it shows up on your calendar, it'll show up like this. When you click on the calendar entry, you will have all of the contact information, the Zoom link, the contact information, who it is, as well as the message that they left. All of this is within your calendar. You click on the Zoom link and off you go. So it's really quite easy. Okay, I kind of blasted through that. Questions, comments? Is it something you would do?
I would be very interested in it. I just want to check and make sure it's good to go for the district, that it's not interfering with their expectations. But I like the idea of them being, parents being able to initiate it without having to email me, because I feel like sometimes they don't want to ask for help. But if it's just setting up a meeting, that's a different feeling.
I would highly encourage you to check it out. And one thing yesterday, as I was digging in deeper, the owner of the company is really responsive. I had a couple of questions I was wanting to embed the calendar on, let's say, my classroom website. So I got onto the chat, the live chat, and it was in fact the CEO of the company who responded to me. Usually you get a robot that does these, automated responses. And gosh, I'll bet he and I emailed back and forth 10 times yesterday. I said, oh my gosh, you need to provide some embed code, and anyway, highly responsive. So if you're looking for support, they just could not be better. So I would encourage you to reach out to the company if you have questions. Upcoming webinars, our tech team is really trying to provide things that are of interest to educators. And we are doing this based on feedback we're getting from teachers. Oh my gosh, you need to do us a session on XYZ. These are the 3, this is today's, and these are the next 2 that are coming up. This one has not been nailed down yet, but if you're interested in those, it'll be the same kind of format. Oops, I didn't mean to put this one in. Let's do this one instead. We have the Heartland Instructional Tech Team newsletter that comes out regularly, and you can subscribe to the newsletter and get regular updates, and that will let you know about the live sessions we're offering. It will provide links to the recordings, and here is a link to get to our s'more where you can subscribe. This one also includes upcoming courses that our team is offering, so it might be kind of a nice newsletter to subscribe to. Wow, this link is fascinating. It should start with the HTTPS and then from there. Anyway, so appreciate you coming and joining me, and reach out to our team if you have any questions. Here is our team email. One or another of us would contact you if you reach out to us through that email. Again, we love hearing recommendations for educators on what it is that you need, and we try to be very responsive to that. So anyway, I appreciate you joining us. Any thoughts, questions?
No, thank you very much. I like this idea. Just keep it in mind, possibilities for next year.
Yes, yes. And like I said, chime in, give us an email and let us know what you need, and we will respond accordingly.
Will do. Thank you very much, Deb.
You betcha. Take care, Katie.